Hello, hello, and welcome to another MCO update on BTC. We take a look at the daily chart, and with this update, I think it's the aim is to prepare you for the new trading week. But first of all, enjoy your Sunday. But yeah, it's important to understand about the relevant levels for next week, and obviously, yeah, we should get quite close to a top here, but we haven't topped yet. I think this is a very, very important message that it looks more and more as if this chart here, this A wave, is in a topping structure, but without confirmed top. That all that means at this stage is to be on the side of caution, not get bearish. And even when we talk about, okay, a correction or pullback is unfolding, that would not be bearish, right? That would simply be most likely a corrective pullback in a larger uptrend. That's at least the thesis, so it would be an opportunity. Cannot promise you that we get this opportunity. Sometimes pullbacks in large uptrends or aggressive uptrends are very, very shallow. But I see a similar potential on the Nasdaq chart that this B wave correction could unfold. So the Nasdaq, for example, the S&P 500, they are very much aligned there with the Bitcoin. Someone asked me yesterday if I assume that Bitcoin and the stock market are kind of going to different pathways, and I don't see that, okay? To explain that, from the 7th of April low, Bitcoin has rallied, I think, around about 40%. Yep. And if we open our Nasdaq chart, then I think it was also a rally from the 7th of April low. Target nearly reached around 20,500. That's an important message because also here I believe we're getting into it. We're in a topping structure. That doesn't mean a top has to form right now, but it's similar to what I told you about Bitcoin in March, that we are likely very, very close to a low. So just be aware of that. Yeah, 22% upside on the Nasdaq, and also this pullback is kind of due, right? Again, we have not yet reached the target there, and we might stretch there, but this is overall like the rally should be like, I don't know, 90, 95% done. So we're just waiting here for that icing on the cake. Most of it is done, and that's the same for the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, it's very, very important. At least when, nobody can look into the future, right? But this is about understanding the risk, okay? Just the risk that we could be close to a top, and then people will get bearish again. Has the bear market started when we then reach this support area? So just be aware, it's all about structure. And also here, like so many bears around when the market hit this March and April low, which is classic because when corrections unfold and they are deep and they bore people out, it can be difficult to know when a pullback is still seen as corrective and we can still give the bulls the chance, and when it is, let's say, when there is a structural break. Now, good news is Bitcoin has not broken at all structural support, and the correction from the January high just landed in standard support. There was no extension of support. It wasn't deeper than expected. It simply landed in the area around the 50% retracement, which is very common for a fourth wave. So there was no sign, or there has been no sign so far, that the bears are taking the lead here. Now, the real test will come in that next correction. Now, I told you already in April, March, that it will be the structure of the next rally that will likely tell us whether we are in the white or the red scenario. It's done that, okay? That I promised that, okay? It's done that. We actually have a 5-wave move up. So that is bullish. So it is the white scenario. But please understand, this is not set in stone, but this is based on probabilities. Based on what we see right now, it is most likely the white scenario, which means the next pullback should be, I'm not saying it will be, but it should be a higher low. It should be a corrective pullback that should lead to another rally and a higher high. But again, it will be the next correction that will confirm that. So if the move down is like a 5-wave move and we see more impulsive decline, then we'd like to see in a corrective pullback, then yeah, be careful, okay? But it's this support area that will support the price on its rally to new all-time highs, 80,200 to 92,022. So I'd say let's take a look at the shorter time frame for Bitcoin as well.
Thanks so much for watching the videos on this YouTube channel. If you've been thinking about joining MCO as a member, now might be a great time. You can use the link in the video description and apply the discount code right below it. You will get 50% off your first month of our Gold membership, and you can explore everything we offer. It's the easiest way to test the membership, see if it's a good fit for you, and get a feel for the community, join the conversation, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in our member area.
So Bitcoin's chart, really no change to yesterday. I mean, in the last update, I showed you a possible path back into support. The price broke then above the last high, invalidating that pattern. But bear in mind, this is simply just all part of potentially a still unfolding wave 4. One more high was expected overall. That happened. But is this already the top of the wave 5? I mean, that is now the question. For those who are new, the idea is that a larger degree fourth wave bottomed there on the 6th of May. And the idea was a fifth wave could still unfold. And then this is unfolding as an ABC structure. And we have in the C wave, which is usually a 5-wave move, 3 waves completed into the 8th of May high. And then I told you that Saturday might be a sideways consolidation. It has been, okay? Now, there was a push to new highs, but honestly, it was just 1 to 1.5% or something. And then it's now fallen back into the range. So, if this is the 5th wave, then it will probably be an ending diagonal or something. I mean, I'm just showing you a few possible pathways here, but this is not predictive. This is just range-bound movement. So this is one possible way. So it might extend higher still. Doesn't have to. It's pretty much where it needs to be. So this is one possible pathway. Just discussing options here. This will be invalidated with a break below 102,975. Then this will be ruled out. Then we can go back to, okay, maybe the 4th wave is still unfolding. Maybe this was simply a high B wave. These are just the 2 likely options I see. So a high B wave, and we're falling back into support. And therefore, I have decided to leave the support area where it is, because it can still be relevant, especially if the rally was just a high B wave, for which we have no way of knowing. I can tell you this is a corrective rally, so it's quite likely. Yeah, overall, I mean, this is kind of just a consolidation, right? Just above support, which means there is no sign that a more substantial top has formed. And that is key. I mean, if we see, once we see a more substantial price top, first of all, that would require a break below 102,975. Then we can focus again on micro support, this Fibonacci support area, between 102,130 and 99,900. So this would be a wider wave 4 correction. And below 99,900, well, that is when, let's go back to the daily chart, that is when the larger support area comes into focus for wave B. Yeah. So this is going to be the sequence of events, how it probably, with all the relevant aspects. That being said, Bitcoin pushed higher. We wanted to see one more high. So, I mean, the message is the wave count looks more and more full. On most altcoin charts, I wanted to see another high, like Ethereum, for example. That happened. Solana, for example. That happened. ADA, for example, in 5 waves up has happened. So ADA has, I think, also reached target box now. So it's, you know, just, I think this is time to be cautious, not bearish yet. And even if bearish, it would just be short-term bearish, because most likely the next larger correction will simply be a corrective pullback in that larger B wave. So yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Today at 5 p.m. UTC, We've got our member live stream. If you're interested in joining, check out the membership. And as a member, don't forget, I will send out the link later today in these live streams. It's always a great opportunity to connect. We do that once a week, 5 p.m. Cover a lot of coins, answer questions. I guess we'll be busy. So yeah, see you there and have a great Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.